So a linear or arithmetic scale is plotted so that there is an equal distance between the prices, and each unit change on the chart is represented by the same vertical distance on the scale. And a logarithmic scale is plotted so that the prices in the scale are not positioned equidistantly. Instead, two equal percent changes are plotted as the same vertical distance on the scale. And now I use log charts, always. If your motive is purely day trading, then it really doesn't matter if you use a linear scale or log scale. Nothing is going to change much. However, for the Elliott wave practitioner, it's a must to scale your charts to logarithmic. I've seen many analysts using Elliott wave as their research base, and they have charts set up with linear scale. That's wrong. That's completely wrong. Such practice leads to erroneous price forecasting. Anyways, let us restrict to Dow theory here and understand how and where the same helps. Now, in this chart, given the two areas being highlighted, which one you would classify having a greater price movement? It's the second one, obviously, isn't it? If you actually did believe this movement here, then unfortunately you're wrong despite being correct. I will now change the appearance of the same chart. Now, which area would you classify as having yielded greater price movement? It's going to be this one now, obviously, isn't it? No doubt, in terms of points, the second movement was greater. But understand that it's not the point increase, but the percentage rise that generates high return. Now, this low here is around 350 and this high is around 1150. So this movement has generated around 225%. Now, it's not an exact percentage, it's rounded off for simplicity. Now, this rally over here, it started around say 40 and terminated around 200. So this leg generates 400% return. And this one over here generated 225%. So I hope you have the answer now. Okay, let's consider another example. Can you see these two movements? Obviously, the second does look to have generated more return, and that does look correct, but unfortunately it isn't. No doubt, point increase is more, but what about the percentage increase? Now see, this movement started around 250, and the high is somewhere around 850, so that's 250 odd percentage. Now this rally over here started around 25 and terminated around 250, and that's 900%. Now see how perspective change with the use of linear and log charts. But anyways, real use of log charts is not in calculating return, but purely analysis. So let's uncover that. Let's have a look at this chart now and understand how log charts help in better analysis, especially for longer term charts. Now, this is a linear scale chart. We haven't dealt with the topic of trend lines yet, which we are going to do very soon, but you can still have a fair amount of idea with the positives using a log chart. Remember for the time being that we require two minimum points to draw a trend line, and if the same breaks, there may be a change in sentiment and direction of price. Now, someone who has drawn this trend line is watching for its break, which happens here. Another trader has drawn this trend line here and watching for its break to exit long position, which happens over here. Now there is another trader who uses log chart, and has drawn a trend line joining these points. The trend line breaks here and the trader makes an exit. And see how beautifully the price now fails to go past this broken trend line, throwing short opportunities. Now we have this linear chart back again. This is where the first trader exits and maybe considers initiating short position, and this is where the second trader exits, and this over here, the third trader, the log chart trader exits. The third trader makes the best exit and also initiates short position way before the other two traders. The first trader, like perhaps having a very long-term view, exited around 600. The log trader managed to exit around 1100. Now this difference is serious. That's 500 odd points. Almost 40 to 50% is saved. Now isn't that staggering? And not just that, he also earned this difference of 500 points on the short position that he initiated. This doesn't mean you should never plot trend lines on linear scale. What I'm suggesting you is to draw trend lines on both log and linear charts. But for longer term charts, log chart is a must.